Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the originals, episode 411, titled A Spirit Here That Won't Be Broken, which premiered Friday, June 9, 2017 on the CW. I am actually recording on June 9th. It's roughly been an hour since the episode has ended for me, so it's really fresh in my head this time. But with that said, guys, huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen right now. Take a moment to refresh your memory of those, and otherwise, let's start the 10-minute clock. And let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, originally I thought it was the next day, since I can't really remember where within the day the previous episode had ended, but Cole made a comment about the fact that he wanted at least an hour with Davina before he had to do the Hollow's bidding. So I don't know if that really is, it's really been less than an hour since the end of 410, or if that's just a figure of speech type of thing. So it somewhat picks up after where the previous episode left off. So I'll leave it at that. Storyline wise though, I did pick up two distinct storylines going on. They are connected with each other though, but we have two different missions in this episode. The first one being the Hollow's mission for Cole, and the second one being the mission to kill the Hollow. So in regards to the first one, the Hollow wants Cole to protect her magical totem, which ends up being this blue glowing sphere looking thing. Originally I thought it was a glowing skull, like, you know, you type the weird little decorations you can buy at some stores. But anyways, so she wants him to protect her by protecting the totem, which is kind of where she's placed her protection spell on. And also Freya commented on the fact that a magical totem, something that Dahlia used to use, is also used to amplify power as well. So anyways, we get Rebecca and Marcel going after the totem and getting trapped by Cole. This is when they realize that he's working for the Hollow. Then Cole recruits Hope to do an unlinking spell for Davina to get away from the Hollow, knowing that he's on borrowed time, because once his family finds out, they're going to go after the totem and destroy it in order to stop the Hollow. So he has to unlink Davina before that happens. So anyways, we get Klaus versus Cole when he finds out not only about Cole's betrayal, but recruiting his daughter behind his back as well. And in the end, we do see Klaus destroying the totem by smashing it with his foot. Now, that leads to the second storyline, which is the mission to kill the Hollow. Now, they realize that Elijah's pendant is cracking, so Freya predicts that they have about a day in order to fully resurrect him once again. So that leaves with Haley and Freya going after the Hollow once Klaus is taking care of destroying the totem. Now, when they do this, Haley and Freya are confronted by their fears, by the Hollow, very similar to how Marcel and Klaus had to deal with them earlier in the season. So Haley is haunted by a version of Jackson, and he taunts her for the wrong choice between picking him versus picking Elijah. And then we get Freya being haunted by Keelan, who is bringing out fears of getting Keelan killed and losing someone that she's finally grown to care for, in a sense. So there's that. In the end, Haley does end up killing the Hollow by stabbing her with a blade that was dipped in Hope's blood after Klaus had destroyed the totem. And then by doing this, Freya was able to use the Hollow's death to resurrect Elijah. However, the last scene of the episode shows that the Hollow is now possessing Hope, and she is taking refuge inside of the littlest Michelson. So there is that. Now, tidbit-wise, though, we get Marcel and Rebecca, while trapped together in that house, dealing with the fallout of their 200-plus year relationship. And it's gotten to the point that they were willing to blow up a house just so that they can escape the barrier to escape from each other. In the end, though, they end up kissing, which was a little weird. And then Rebecca curses herself for doing that, or giving in to such temptation and walking off. No clue how Marcel feels about that too, since they were both moving towards each other for that kiss. So I'll leave it at that. While she's temporarily alive, not knowing how long before the Hollow will allow her to live, Davina goes to visit Joshua and thank him for his visits to her grave, as she's listened to his visits every single day. He's completely stunned by her return. But because Hope was successful in unlinking Davina from the Hollow, this allows for Cole to leave the city with Davina still alive. So there's that. Also, Haley mentions to her pseudo little wake for Jackson that she has a plan for Hope, but she's not sure if she's brave enough to pull it off. So there's that. Moving on though to what most shocking moment of the episode, I have to say it was the fact that the Hollow possessed Hope. I mean, when the Hollow was doing some spell with the dagger that had Hope's blood in it, and then she started drinking it, I had a feeling, I thought the Hollow would link herself to Hope. Not that she would actually possess Hope to begin with. So that was a little surprising itself. Kind of makes me wonder why she wasn't able to possess Hope in the first place, unless it was because she needed her blood and because she already had to be resurrected and stuff like that. So there is that. Moving on, though, to top 3 favorite moments. I have more than 3, but they kind of blend together in a way, though. But the first favorite I did have was the fact that we finally got a theory behind what the Hollow's symbol means. Freya brings it up in regards to how Hope was always drawing the snake eating its tail symbol, and Freya points out the fact that that's pretty much the Livejournal line. The Hollow represents the start of the Livejournal line, being the head, and then Hope is the last living Livejournal, so she would be the tail. So Freya concludes that in order for the Hollow to die, it has to be with Hope's blood to do it. So it was just very interesting to finally get some sort of reason behind the symbol that was always connected to the Hollow. I'm not sure if that case still applies now that the Hollow is possessing Hope. Now the symbol could very much mean that the Hollow is always meant to possess the last living descendant of their line. In this case, it's Hope, in order for them to truly be reborn and live out the life she was supposed to live. I think that's what she was hoping for in possessing Hope, not only to gain the power that came with Hope, with her being the first of her generation in the Michelson family, having that uncharted power that Dahlia wanted, but she's also part vampire, she's part werewolf, and now she has the witch in her. And then maybe the Hollow wanted to possess Hope so that she can actually get the childhood she was supposed to get. I don't think she got a loving childhood the first time around because everyone feared the power that she had. So maybe that's her motivation as to why she picked Hope specifically, outside of the fact that the snake eating its tail had to deal with her gaining more power by, I guess, in a sense, devouring or merging with the last descendant of her line. So there's that. That also brings a question, though, is Hope also powerful because she's part of the Livejournal line, which came from the Hollow? So that's another impromptu question right there. Now, another favorite of mine was also having to deal with Hope, and I'm going to subplot it with this, and it was the moments you got with Klaus and Hope. It was great to see at the beginning when we see the two of them, and having him tell her not to worry about the Hollow, and she can sense that she does have to worry because this is a different enemy than they faced before. And just him trying to comfort her in that fact, and then her very mature words is kind of, it spooks him in a sense. It's like, oh crap, she really does know the true depths of the situation they're in. Also with Haley as well, with Hope, when she was trying to explain why they need to do what they need to do. It was very interesting to see that type of dynamic between Hope and both of her parents in those different occasions. And then what I really liked was Hope's moment with Cole, and how originally she tells him, I'm not supposed to do magic with strangers, and Cole's kind of thrown by that because it's like, well, what do you mean? We're family. And then she's like, then why'd you go away? Type of thing. And he actually told her the truth. He child-proofed it, but he told her that he was sad and he didn't want to burden the family with his sadness. And it was just very interesting. And then also when he realizes with her answers and her true understanding of the situation that she's very well adapted in a sense. It was just interesting to see those interactions. I've been hoping for some connection between Hope and Cole just because of the fact that he loves magic and she's able to do magic and stuff like that. So it was great to see a bit of that happening in this episode. Another favorite of mine, though, is also Cole and Davina. Not only their moments of their borrowed time together, but then to also realize that, oh, they do have a chance of a happy ending together now that she's unlinked, now that they are both alive and not tethered to the ancestors anymore in such a dire way. So it was really great to see that. And then also to see Joshua there too, seeing the love between the two of them and actually having a smile on the fact that his friend is finally back and is finally happy. And he's able to see her leave on a happy note instead of through demise and terror and all that. So it was really great to have this couple reunited. And in a way, I'm glad they're leaving the city because then I can imagine them having a happy life seeing the world together and like doing that, as opposed to if they were on the show, chances are something bad's gonna happen type of thing. Even though I will miss them for sure. They definitely have a lot of catching up to do. That is for sure. Now moving on to top 3 peeve moments. The only peeve I really have that I think about is Haley having unknown plans for Hope. I fear that she is going to want to separate Hope from the Michelsons and all the darkness that comes with them. I'm a little worried about that, but if she does that, she's going to have to do the same thing with her, because Haley claims that she's a monster. There's the timer. She also claims that she knows that the Michelsons are monsters and they all have done terrible things, and she doesn't want to taint Hope that way. So I have a bad idea that if she's going to separate Hope from the Michelsons to get away from that darkness, Haley has to do the same thing too. She's going to have to separate herself from Hope as well to get away from the darkness within her own self. But either way, I'm not liking that path whatsoever, which is why it's a peeve for me. Now moving on to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode. It has to be the Hollow taking possession over Hope, and the fact that Elijah is now resurrected once again. So there's that. Moving on though to random questions. The first one I have to say is that I thought that the Hollow wanted to die after she finished her business with the Michelsons. Isn't that what she originally told Cole before she told him why he needed to protect her magical totem? So I'm a little iffy about that, unless her main goal was to possess Hope and make that permanent, and that was her business with the Michelsons, I guess you could say. But then why would she want to die after doing that? I'm not sure. Next question. Once again, how can Freya use the power of the Hollow's death if she is still possessing Hope when her soul is still technically alive? The same in the sense with the Hollow using Elijah's sacrifice to resurrect herself when his soul was still preserved independent. How is that truly a sacrifice that she can use? It's a question that I had for episode 409. I even made another video for it if you checked that out or not. But pretty much it's the reverse in this regard. I'm happy that they were able to use the Hollow's death to resurrect Elijah, but again, it doesn't make sense why it's still plausible for that to happen in this regard. So there's that. Another question is that, does that mean with Cole and leaving town that they are finally going to have their second chance at a happy ending together? I hope so. While I miss them already and that we're not going to see them on screen, if that is the price to pay for them to have the chance at a happy life, then okay. Because anytime they come back on screen, while I love it, I always fear that they are coming back for a reason, and that reason might break my heart, type of thing. Because sometimes when you bring back certain characters, sometimes it's because they have to die for us to see it. So I really don't like that. So if they have to go in order to have a happy life, then okay. I still want updates or at least little cameos for phone calls and stuff like that. So there's that. Last question. The Hollow mentioned that she still needed Haley for her plans. What purpose does Haley have to the Hollow now? Hold on one moment. All right. So does this have further planning to the Hollow possessing Hope and she needs Haley to make it permanent, or is it because she needs that motherly figure, or what? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see about that, though. But moving on to predictions, though, based off the promo for 412, it looks like Sophia actually wakes up with the dreaded feeling that the Hollow isn't truly gone. This also has the Hollow being revealed that she has taken possession of Hope, and it will be permanent once her mark of the snake eating the tail mark on her is fully complete. The promo shows it being like halfway done. So there's that, and we see Haley being determined to get her daughter back, while we see Klaus's hybrid face making an appearance. Now, based off the synopsis for 412, it reads that when the Hollow targets the most vulnerable Michelson, Klaus is forced to rely on Vincent, who believes he can use the Hollow's own dark magic to defeat their enemy for good. Meanwhile, as Marcel worries that Vincent's plan might backfire, the King of New Orleans decides on a deadly backup plan of his own. Elsewhere, after falling victim to the Hollow's manipulations, Haley struggles to figure out Hope's future in New Orleans, while Freya must confront her darkest fear. So with all that said and done, do I have any new questions from this? One comes to mind is the fact that how would they expel the Hollow from Hope, since when they did that to Sophia, they had to stab her in the heart. It was okay for Sophia because she's already a vampire and she'd come back after the stabbing, but Hope doesn't have that luxury. So what are they going to do to separate the Hollow from Hope? Another question is, where has Vincent been? We haven't seen him since he took back his journal from Marcel a few episodes ago. So there's that question. And in this episode, Marcel was trying to look for Vincent since he had made claims that he knew how to cure Sophia of the remaining possession magic from the Hollow. So there's that. Another question is, will we see Cole and Davina again? Even if it's just for little cameos or little help outs, or if I really hope it's not for their demise. So I guess we'll have to wait and see about that, though. But that's pretty much all that I have on my mind right now. But what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about what you think is going to happen next. There's actually only 2 more episodes left of the season, 12 and 13. So it's really coming down to the wire for that, though. But anyways, if you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I reblog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. So go check it out if you want. It's also connected to my WordPress account. Link for that is also down below. It's a little more organized, but it's still a work in progress. Anything I do online is connected through that. Don't know if I mentioned this, but don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. A little out of order right now. But there's that. Also, if you want a detailed recap of the episode, a play-by-play, if you will, check out my Livejournal entry. The link for that is down below. It's a recap of the episode as I watch it for the first time with in-moment thoughts, any quotes. It helps keep things organized for me, but if you want to check that out, go right ahead. I do have a few other ones there as well. But that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, this is Mel. Wishing you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.